today is another day, and it's about this Hyundai. This individual decided to rear end a truck, and obviously it didn't turn out very good. So what I'm going to try to do is pull a couple of the structural parts back out. Here's one right here on the front where the front piece would mount on, and then part of the inner fender that has some structural integrity has to be pulled back out as well. We already got all the parts, the fender, the front bumper cover, and the hood, and they got to be painted, and they will be. But in the meantime, I want to get this pulled out and get the front inner structure where the radiator support is, and where the condenser for the AC is all mounted, and even the little horns. So that's pretty much the goal for today, is get all this stuff pulled out. I already started pulling it out, and I'm going to use a come along to see if I can just start pulling it instead of beating the tar out of it with a hammer. And then I think I'm going to have to make a device to clamp on to the front of this right here. I'll point all that out in a second, to where I'd be able to pull this back where it belongs and take the crease out of it, hopefully. And that's pretty much the game plan. So let me show you the crease I'm talking about. And we got Puss in Boots in the house. And she just decided to lay down. Oh, she got back up. There she goes, Puss in Boots! Yep, there she goes running. She's a little skittish. There she is. Puss in Boots! Sometimes she sleeps in this machine. Here she comes. She's coming back to do some inspection work to get the old stamp of approval. She's going to go back to where she was and lay down and take a break. She's worked hard. Yep, let's see if she does what I think she's going to do. Yep, see? She laid back down. Cleaning her feet a little bit. But there she is, Puss in Boots. But here's the damage. Some of it anyway. Yeah, so all this has to come back out. This is straighten out. Get this to come forward. And this only has to come out a little bit and just down a little bit. It's not meant to be flat. It does have to have a little lift to it, and then get that out of there. So I'm going to use the come along and hook it up. It seems kind of this attachment for all that. Hopefully it's strong enough. I'm not going to be really like trying to pull the car with it, but this part right here, I don't know, don't seem to be all that sturdy. But I guess I'll find out soon enough. So I'm going to put you on the stand and give it a whirl. This side, nothing happened to it. I had to fix this car once before, and this piece here got crushed in. So we got a new one from the junkyard, and then I ended up squaring it up and welding it back in to place. And that worked out really well. Everything lined up, and now I guess it was this side's turn, and I'm glad it wasn't the unibody part, just the front, whatever the hell that is. But that's the scoop right there. I'm going to give it a whirl and see what happens. Now I'm going to have to lock the wheels when you don't have a frame machine. It's coming back out. Here we go. The movement is taking place. A little tap. Alright. What I think I'm going to do now is I want to get this dent out right here It's got a fastening nut on the back side of it, so I want to square it up so it's easier to get the bolt in there when I have to. Yep. Yep. So far so good. This is fun. Yes, it is. You know, this thing's a little bit longer. It might give me some more room. Maybe. Ooh. I think that might be squared up. I think it is. Yep. This piece back out. So stand by. Okay, I'm back. And I'm showing right now that the front of this is pretty well flush to what's going to mount on the front of that. And as you can see, this now has a very much vertical position. It's not the best form, but at least it's in the proper location of where it needs to be. And same with the front part. This would be cleaned up a little bit more. This is at the angle it should be for the fender because it does match what that side looks like. So with all that being said, the next thing I got to do is I have to straighten this piece, well, form it, not straighten it out, but make it in which it's supposed to be. And I will weld it right back there. I'll put some welds on that because that's where that belongs. And once that part is done, I can actually assemble the front structure that holds the radiator, the condenser, and anything and everything else that belongs on the front end of this. So after I paint the parts that he got from the junkyard, I can reassemble this. We're not painting the whole car, we're just painting the bumper cover, the fender, and the hood. So that part, let me get this prepared to weld that piece back on, and once that's on, I'll show you what that looks like. In the meantime, I'll do a little more finessing on some of this area here so it looks a little cleaner. I will blend some paint on that when I go to paint so that it just doesn't look as ugly as it does, and this way I'll give it some sort of protection on the metal so it doesn't rust quicker. So that's the plan, that's the scoop. As you can see, my come along and my machine came in handy. Yep, that definitely pulled it back out where it belongs. You know, sometimes you don't need a frame machine. You just need a little ingenuity and get it done. So hang tight, and I'm going to weld that piece back on and do a little finesse. So stand by. Okay, I'm back. The piece is welded on. Little primer set on there. I cleaned up the top all the way around, gave it a little bit more character. And now I went and snatched up the front clip, all the accessories on it, from the radiator to the condenser to transcooler, you name it, it's on here. And I removed all the stuff that I guess was cut so that that can be removed. Same thing on this side, the AC stuff. Put the bolts back, or I should say the nuts back in place. Took off those hoses for probably maybe whatever cooler. It could be trans, power steering, I'm not really sure. I have to follow it from the front. But now the objective is to find the bolts and the nuts, whatever, that are in that coffee cup that he brought me, and figure out which ones go where, and get this on the front, hopefully, and all the lines plugged in at the same time. So I'm going to put you on the stand. There. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So the mission is, this side here will be easy enough to get at them, hoses to hook up. This side here, it's possible. It's possible. It would be nice if I had the lower radiator hose. I could have that clamped on, but it's got to get the upper and the lower for me. Yep. Alright, where's the restriction? Oh, see, this is where you need a helper, but I don't have that. You know, at times I'd like to have that helper, but sometimes it's not worth it. Especially if they don't have the same mentality as yourself. If you know what I mean. So you gotta hold pressure. Do this. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, so far. Lines up pretty good over there too. Something else that ties this together, because there's only two welded on nuts on the backside where, as you saw me put the bolts in it, and then there's two opposite corners where it's a clean opening. There's nothing, and unless something goes in there, if I remember correctly. I don't do these cars every single day, so it's hard to remember all of it. I'm going to loosen up this side a little bit. I think I got to lift this up some. See what bolts would carry on in there. It's hard to tell. I don't even know where some of this stuff actually goes. This could be one of them. It goes up here. And this could be the other one that goes up there. I think. Being as how I didn't take it apart, it's kind of hard to tell, but maybe based on color. I think something with a bigger washer. Let me see if there's something in there with a bigger washer. Put them aside. They could be for the fender. I have no idea what that broken piece is for. It's black, do you think? Because that's a bigger washer. And it is black. So, why don't I use these to go in there? Yeah, I think that'll be the right one. It'll match. Yep, that fell right into place. This one here is going to be a little different. Let me just get it started better. Okay, so push and pull. Push and pull. That's it. There we go, that worked. Hopefully it doesn't have to come apart. Yeah, now it's starting to look like something. Don't need this. That's weird. It really is weird. I'm gonna have to do it this way because I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think this is it. Don't have a... I don't know what he did. And I know if I ask him, he's gonna be, I don't know, I just took it apart. I put all the hardware in the cup. That's good. Where that belongs. Okay. Now, whether it's a trans cooler or I think it much matters on the cooler. I don't think it has to go in one particular way and come out one when it's just a, yeah, it's just a regular oil cooler. So an in and out doesn't really matter. So the way I'm going to have these hoses hooked up, I think they're in the correct spot, but you never know. As long as they don't leak and it does what it's supposed to do, that's fine. What are they? That's right, this is the trans one. Transmission cooler. That goes into the side of the radiator. I'm going to do the lower one first. It would be easier. Alright. See, that's what these pliers look like. Yeah, I'll show you the clamp. show you two different sizes. The radiator clamp, and then you have these clamps, the small ones, which are more a nuisance than anything. And when you're trying to deal with this little stuff, it's it only goes so far. The bigger ones, you get a little bit better advantage maybe. Fits in there nice. See? Work it a little bit better than these tiny ones. I just don't like them. But that's just me. Alright, so I got those lines hooked up. Those lines over there are hooked up. Like I mentioned earlier, the lower radiator hose would be nice, but that's not going to happen. Did this get pushed back in there? Let's see, this goes here. And then this, I think, yeah, that got bent. Yeehaw. See if I can pull this back over. Not only did this get bent, because you can't take it out. Well, that's not nice. Let's see if I can manipulate it, at least enough, to where the dipstick would want to come out. See that? Now it comes out. Maybe you should do a little bit more. Alright. I'm going to leave well enough alone. Yep, it did get pushed. Yes, it did. At least I fixed it now and figured it out now. Yeah, there's little broken parts in there. Yeah, he did a number on it. Okay, so now I can put the battery tray in there. I have no idea what the heck that's for. I don't even know if he knows what it's for, or this busted piece, but the hardware could be useful. Well, he's got this taped up. Yep. I don't know how fast he was going, but I gotta tell you, he wasn't shy about the damage. Ooh. See the piece? Broken, man, broken. Yep. Yep. You can even push the air box back some. But nevertheless, I'm going to get that done, so I'm going to have you on standby, and I'll be back. Okay, I am back. The front nose piece is on. I had to bend back the dipstick tube for the transmission. I am now fighting with part of the ductwork for the air breather, trying to get it to mount. I had to pick up my microphone piece here, but to get back down into there over that, as well as lining in over there. And what a real treat. I already took some skin off the old pinky, about 3/4 of an inch long, kind of deep. How annoying is that? But nevertheless, we must go on, so I want to get it out of the sun. So I'm going to hook it up, hook it up, and roll her on back, and then get back to work on it. So I'll chime in once it all is in and all hooked up. So stand by. Alrighty, I'm back with the car. And as far as I could take it at the moment until more parts are picked up, I have to say, a good percentage, 80-85% of the nose clip back on there. We have to get the fan and the fan shroud assembly. I'm not sure what we're going to do about the busted headlight over here. I don't know if he's going to want to get another one or not, but that's going to be left up to them. So that hose is coming, upper and lower. Battery box tray is in. All the ductwork is hooked back up and in place. What else did I have to do? So the other wires that are remaining, these two heavier ones, are for the fan, electric fan, and so is this. But until he gets out of the scrapyard, as you can see, it's missing the housing that the wires belong in, and this one here is all kind of discombobulated. Maybe you can get it to work again, hopefully. But that's what's left on this. So once the fender goes back on, then this will all be nice and secure. I don't know what else is there. Killing little ants. But clean up this mess. Get this beast out of the way. And start working on prepping the hood, the fender, and the bumper cover. And that will be next. So when that happens, I'll tune back in. Until then, stand by. Okay, well, I'm back to work on the Hyundai, and the paint products came. It's a 3-stage process. We got our first ground coat, and then we have the top coat, and it's both of them. It says the same exact thing, powder white, but this would be the first step. This is the second step, so that's 2. And then the final is the clear coat. So I just got done putting an adhesive promoter on mainly the front bumper cover, because there's a lot of the original black that the unit is made out of. So unless you put some sort of adhesive promoter, the paint will stick. But I also made sure that I hit some of the, well, sometimes it's kind of hard to sand a little nooks and crannies, so I sprayed the whole fender. So the next step is I'm going to put the first base on there, and I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll go from there, so stand by. Okay, well, the first stage of the base coat, all 3 coats and over 3 times have been applied. So there you have it. Next I'm about to apply the pearl part, which will be the second stage of it. There you have it. Nice and pretty. Alright, so once I'm done with the 3 coats of the second, which is the pearl, I'll turn back in and show you that, and then the final thing will be the clear. So until then, stand by. Okay, the 3 coats of pearl have been laid down. It's hard spraying a white pearl on top of a white color, but it gets done. And for this car, this looks pretty good. Pretty much you'll be able to tell that the front end was replaced and hit because of how fresh the paint will be on it. So, and I'm trying to save the guy some money. I had him do the sanding, prep work on all this stuff. This way, if I did it, it would just cost him more. And he wasn't looking for anything perfection. So this is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. But anywho, the next thing now is the clear, which I'm about to mix that up. This is definitely ready for it. It's flashed long enough. So until then, stand by. The clear is done. It's on. It's done. It's over. Yep. And there'll be no cut and buff in this. So the way it looks is the way it's going to look. If there's a little bit of fragments, then it's going to be hard to see anyway with the white. But at the end of the day, it's not looking to put $1 million into a $1 car, basically. So it looks real good, quality product. So it'll last long as he doesn't get into another accident, God forbid. I had posted that on my Instagram page, just the way it happens. And that's that. So the next thing is going to be all these products being put on the car. The car does run now. Everything is ready with that. So once the bumper cover and the hood and the fender is mounted, the car's done. And once I go to do that, which will be a couple of days from now, and that'll be that. And at that point, end the video. But until then, stand by and we'll move on to install. Alrighty, we're back on to work on this Hyundai, and we're about to put it back together. I got myself a helper over there. He's wrenching on taking the hinges off because the hood already has hinges on it, and I just think it'd be a little easier on the setting, being that the bottom where it bolts onto the body is only one position, where the top has the movement to go pretty much in a circle if it had to. So he's going to snatch them off, and then the next piece I'm going to put in is going to be the radiator. The fan for the radiator. Yep. Back this up, and hope all is well. It's pretty simple. It's got two slots on the back side of the radiator where this thing here, this little shelf, and that one would lock into. And then I have to repair the plug that came on the car because it got damaged. But we have the housing, so it should be fairly simple enough to repair it. So, well, when we're done kind of messing with this fan, I'll tune back in, so stand by. Okay, the fan is in, it's powered up, and the wiring harness is zip tied in place. So the next piece we're going to bring in is going to be, the fender's going to go on next, and then the bumper cover is going to go on after that, and then finally the hood. So far so good. And I'm going to go snatch that up, the fender, and keep an eye on him. He needs help. Alright. I'm back and we got ourselves a beautiful fender. Oh no.
Shit.
Did it go in?
Yeah, all the way down.
That's okay, yeah, that's how it works. Here, I'll finish doing that part. I'll help you with this.
Okay, I gotta take these bolts out.
Okay. Alrighty then. Just like that. Just let me get it started here a little bit. Uh-oh. So how are we on the alignment before we tighten this? Okay, we gotta move this forward. Huh? Oh. The assistant's not feeling too good. He's gonna go out there and hurl one, I think. I think. And I'll try to maintain this spot right here. It's my other hand. Yes. Yes. I don't know if it's gonna be this. It's not gonna be that. It could be this. We'll see. I'm gonna go grab the front bumper cover. Yep, because that's next. You'll need to put that on. And also bring a stand. Alright, well there is the bumper cover. I got some chrome to put on it, so that's next. Got ourselves some foggy lights. Inner liner. There's that, and hang tight. Okay, the chrome pieces are back in place. About to put the foggy lights in. Got it matched up. I tried to clean them up, but that wasn't happening. So, install. Three bolts and nuts. 2, 3. One more. Let me see if I can buck this one up some, and if not, it's got to go in. It comes straight out. Carefully, slowly. How'd it do? Okay, good. Didn't hit nothing, right? Terrific, man. Yeah, that's how we do it here at Radical Curves Power Play Garage. That's right. That's how it gets done, man. Alrighty. So the next step is going to be putting it on the car, Meng. So once we get it going and have it on there, we'll zoom back in and show you how it worked out. So stand by. Alright, I'm back. And as you can clearly see, the bumper cover is back on. It's installed. We plugged in the lights. A nice view. Yep. In order to actually plug in the running lights, fog lights, whatever the hell they are, you got to go in from the inner fender. That area right there, just pull that way, and you can get your hand in there and plug it in. So the only thing left that we got to do is two things. Charge the AC system, which is simple, and then we're going to first put the hood on, and then hook up the windshield wiper hoses for the squirters, and we got to put the rod on. So
that has a rod on
it. It does? Alright.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll
see. But for right now, we're going to go snatch up the hood. We're going to put it on the stand, and once we do that, we'll chime back in, so stand by. Alright, the hood is in, it's on the stand, and what we're going to do now is take those hinges off. We're going to use the ones that are already on the car, trying to make it easier for ourselves. So that is the plan. I think with a little bit of luck, it will work. Yes. No, it could be something else, but we'll stick with that. Your side, I'll do my side. Wow!
Yeah, who the fuck thinks this, huh?
Wow. I don't even want to use this 12 point. I gotta find a 6 point. Use the 6 point socket. I got a feeling we'll end up skipping the head. Alrighty. We're gonna be like using our full abilities and talents to balance the hood as we sticks it on the cars. That one's got overspray on it. I would use that one. So where does it bolt onto? Somewhere right there. Okay. And then once we have it on. Alrighty, are you ready? What? Take it off. It's just a matter of you know what? Yeah, because I don't know if it's going to be in your way or not. Alright, so why don't we do this? Lift the hood, go this way, tilt it up, and put it on the stand on the edge so that you can take that off. Lift up, work with me, sunshine. Just like it is. It's got a cushion. Alright, now take that silliness off. Dog. Be careful, you gotta hold the hood. Don't let it rest on the car.
Where's my bolts?
I don't know, where'd you put them?
I'm looking at them right on my toolbox. Yep. My dumbass. Looking right at him.
Yeah, hang on. Where'd you put them? On the toolbox. There you go. Gotta help the young lad. Eye it up the best you can to where you think the imprint is, but don't hit that trigger like it was going out of style. Be gentle, be easy. Alright. Good? Yeah. How come this ain't popping on?
Is this the old one?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, this is
probably fucked up.
Here we go.
Oh, I heard it. Let him go.
We let go. Let's see if it'll close right.
Nice and easy. Put steering fluid in there, right?
Yep. Hey, you want to pull that lever to the hood? Did you pull that latch? Pull that latch. Not yet. What the heck? Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's not working properly. Woo! No. Pull that lever again. Well, until we get this figured out, I'll be back. Alright, all done. Power steering's working now. Had to put some more fluid in there. We discharged the system. It's a little cold, but he probably needs one more container. And the hood works now. A little bit of a spring issue that we had to figure out. That little bugger right there, you can see it, needed to be hooked up for that lever right there to spring back where it needs, so that when this latch hits it, it locks. So, tightened up the battery. We know the oil is good. Transmission thing is good. And that's finally good, the power steering. So this is the scoop. Yep. I even adjusted the other, there's a turn thing in there that brings the hood up to make it even. This side's, we can probably go up a little bit. Want to pull the hood latch again? There we go. I can show you what I'm talking about. Because it's a different hood from a different car, these things, they turn and they adjust. Yep, like I did that side over there. So, we'll close it one more time. Yep. Now it's even. Just like that side. Well, finally, this Hyundai is back together in one piece, painted. Matches pretty nice. Looks pretty good. Yay. Guy's happy as all heck. He's yeah, he can hopefully not crash it again. Better not crash it again. He ain't fixing it again. Just chew that dog. But never the who. I appreciate everybody watching. And if you like, give me a good old thumbs up. subscribe, make a comment.
Subscribe.
See that?
Like and subscribe.
Hear that?
In addition.
Alrighty then. So until then, try to get something done, and we'll talk soon because I got a hell of a video coming up and it has to do with dealerships and the silliness and the circus act that they put you through. So stand by. That's going to be a hell of a video. It's a one-time deal. Thanks for watching.